are here too. Unknown.
I need to have a wee chat with you.
It's alright.
I'm Pauline, I'm your dad's housing officer. Sorry, I didn't mean to get your dad all upset.
It's alright.
It's really yourself that I need to speak to.
I know, that's why I've came here.
Aye. I have spoken to your dad before.
It's alright, Dad, seriously, it's alright.
It's embarrassing, though.
I know that. There's no need for it.
The reason I'm here today, Stuart, is in relation... It's in relation to complaints that the council are receiving in relation to yourself.
And what complaints is there? Because I never even knew about this.
It's to do... Well, I've spoken to your dads before about it because your dad's a tenant in this property. You know the tenant, your dad is, okay? So in your dad's tenancy agreement, he's responsible for the behaviour of any visitors to his property, regardless of whether they're family or not. So I have spoken to you before, Arthur.
Now, before you start...
I'm not starting, Arthur.
No.
We're just here to have a
Last
chat.
week, I came totally deaf in my left ear.
He's deaf in his left ear.
Right.
I've just been to the doctors and they're going to pick me up to the ear clinic. So you have to speak very slowly and loud if you're going to talk to me.
Right.
Polly.
No bother. I can do that for you. Can you hear me now?
Aye.
Right. It's about the same kind of complaints that we were getting before, and it seems to be in relation to your father's neighbours, Stuart.
Right.
Do you have an issue with your dad's neighbours?
Not really, no.
No. Because they're making complaints regarding your behaviour towards them in relation to pinging fag dipes out of the garden, making nasty comments about slitting their dog's throat.
I remember that day. I was listening to a song on YouTube and it was Cut Ruby's Throat. It was Marilyn Manson's song. And I was singing along to it in the back garden, sitting in the back garden having a fag. So they must have assumed that I was talking about their dog, but I remember
There's also
that.
been allegations about you tapping on their windows.
No, that's crap.
And staring in the windows.
No, that's all lies. See, I told you that would make someone up.
Right. Why would they do that though, Stuart? Have they got a reason?
Is this because they want me away from my dad? They want me banned from my dad, I'm guessing.
Well, I don't get why they would want that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're telling me that these incidents are not happening...
No, they're not.
They're not. They're definitely
not.
No,
it's a one-sided story. And who's it that's making these complaints?
Well, I can't give you names who's making the complaints, but what I can tell you is the officer who works here, the retirement housing officer
Margaret.
Who works here, yes, says that you've also made rude gestures to her.
Right.
You've also been seen out the back, sneaking about the back, and apparently there was an incident where someone was put in a bird bath that didn't draw the water red in the bird bath.
Something was put in a bird bath. I don't know who that is.
What was wrong with the bird bath?
Something was put in it and it turned the water red.
No.
That's ridiculous, eh?
What are you getting out of that?
I didn't either.
If we get these kind of complaints, we have to follow them up and we have to come out and obviously, because you know the tenant, you're not here all the time, so I had been speaking to your dad about it before, and you had said you would speak to Stuart, Mr. Loudon. Did you do that at the time?
Yeah.
Did you speak to Stuart the last time I spoke to you?
Yeah, he did tell me that, he did.
So you do know about the complaints then?
But I don't know what neighbours, he did say neighbours, but I don't know what ones, eh?
Right.
But I've not got any issues with anyone.
Right. Because what I'll say is, when you are here, you need to go on your best behaviour.
I always have been. I don't know who's making these complaints, it's just misinformation. They're just trying to slander...
Well, that's what it is.
They're just trying to slander my name, I think.
Well, I wouldn't go I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's all false allegations, what you've just told me there. That's defaming me of character. It's defamation of character.
And you can assure me that none of these incidents...
I can promise you, hand on my heart. And why is the police here as well?
The police are just here with me because we're out working together today. We often do joint visits.
Right.
This is Yasmin.
I'm Yasmin, I'm the community
She's
officer
a
for this
community
area.
officer.
So I cover this area, and me and Pauline often do joint visits. And we're going to, if I've got any issues with stuff or she's got any issues with stuff, we try and do it as a partnership work kind of thing. It's nothing more than that.
I'm only here because just before a meeting, Yasmin and I were tasked with looking for somebody that was missing.
Right, okay.
So I wouldn't have normally been here, but because we were out together, and then it was time for the appointment.
That's understandable.
That's all.
That's okay.
That was it. It was just mainly to see how things are, get in with the local community, see if he's had any issues at all, and support Pauline and her working.
Because these allegations are just lies, just complete idiotic. Like putting what in the water, did you say? Making it red?
I don't know.
I don't even know what you're on about.
I was just told something was put in the water of the bird bath and it turned the water red.
That's insane.
In a neighbour's garden, obviously.
How could you actually do that? Because is bird baths no connected to the inside water?
No.
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 And it makes a fountain or something, the water come out of a
We
fountain.
just put water in every day for the birds, like.
Oh, right, aye. Well, I don't know anything about that one. And what was the other one, tapping on windows?
Tapping on windows.
That's lies.
There was
That's
eggs
lies.
thrown at the window apparently as well.
I remember that day somebody did throw an egg at the window. I did see it. They came here and accused me instantly. But there was a egg on the front kitchen window. I did notice that. They came to this house, very intimidating behaviour. The man was growling at me, "You get out here now," and everything. And I only arrived at my dad's house that day 5 minutes before that happened.
Right.
So I have no idea who threw the egg at the kitchen.
But you didn't report that or anything?
No.
It been at the door, been threatening or anything?
No.
It wasn't a fuel egg. It was like a bird's egg.
Right.
Okay, about that size. That's what the shell was like when I looked out.
Right, okay. Well, I think we'll leave it at that just now. And if you tell me that this has been made up, then I'll not be expecting to get any more.
What's that, Pauline?
I'll not be expecting to get any more complaints in, but if I do get more complaints in
Right.
and the complaints are corroborated, then what that means is somebody else witnesses them, then I would have to come back out and speak to you again.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's happening in and around your property, Arthur, it would be a warning against you,
Right.
because you're the tenant, okay?
Right.
So I have to make you aware of that,
Mm-hmm.
alright?
Oh, aye. Fine.
Hopefully, obviously, if these are uncorroborated, I'll not go any further, and there'll be nothing else heard, which will be good.
Okay.
Which will be good. Hopefully that whatever's happened next door, or the problems with the bird baths and eggs, that they should all stop. And if you see anything, or you see anybody lurking about the gardens,
So
or
either
acting weird,
maybe that did happen, right? That bird bath thing, and she instantly accuses me. I think I know who you're on about now. Because every time I go out that back to have a cigarette, right, 90% of the time I go out that back to have a cigarette and sit down, one of those neighbours come out next door, I don't even know their names, but one of them will come out, let their dog run about first, then they'll come out and stare at me. About a week, 2 weeks ago, I was sitting out the back, the man came, he stared at me and growled at me like that, like really demonic look at me. And I just looked that way down there, I didn't even want to give him attention, so I just looked that way, and he stood there for about maybe 20 seconds staring at me like that. And it was very intimidating. So I had to finish my cigarette quick and come back in. Now 90% all the time I go out that back, one of them will come out and they'll stare at me or they'll say something like ridiculous, like, "Why did you do this, why did you do that?" I'm like, I just ignore them and look the other way, you know, I don't even give them attention now.
Can you think of any reason at all that they're staring at you when you're outside?
I have no idea.
Nothing at all.
Because they think she did other things.
Aye.
It's almost like they're coming out and looking at the boy and saying to their saviour, "Boy, you've done that to me, okay?"
It's
So
just,
maybe I went back in this again.
It's harassment is what it is.
I'm just trying to understand the start of it, how it all started. Because
Well, they two moved in about 2 years ago, next door, 2 years. And everything was hunky-dory down here until they moved in. Then, for some reason, they instantly attacked me. I don't know why. But things started happening and I started getting blamed for everything. And I have no idea why. I've done nothing wrong to them at all. I've just kept myself to myself.
there's been nothing in the past, it's just been, they just seem to be blaming you.
It should be them that's getting kicked out. because they're intimidating behaviour.
But her pal, she's needing this with her tongue cut out.
I hear the language of
You
it.
want to hear the language of this.
And she stays up there, that one up there.
She was in her house when
That egg.
the egg, and she come right to the house and started swaying.
You want to hear the language
I
of
had to
it.
hold a man and just, look, get rid of you can.
So was the egg the first thing that they accused you of?
No.
No, I can't remember, Dad. There's been maybe about 2 or 3 things she's accused me on. I can't even remember.
Because it might have just been the fact that if you just arrived and they've just noticed it, put 2 and 2 together. But I mean, we do get it that people just deciding that someone's
It's like I've been,
and they keep focusing on
it's like I've been targeted for no reason, eh? It's like they've targeted me for no reason.
Right.
But do you get on with everybody else?
Aye.
Do you get on with everybody else?
Aye, but you're not talking to me and you like.
Oh, they'd be daft.
Eh?
I'm still talking to you.
I walked out the other day there and I said hi and wouldn't answer. So I said, I hung you.
So it's like they've targeted me and Dad for some reason. And before they moved in, like what I was saying, everything was hunky-dory down here. It's perfect. I used to come in the back gate, I used to come in the front door, and nobody would say a thing, eh? Until they moved in. And then, about maybe a few months after that, I came in the back.
And
there
I
was...
told Bartley going, I went, when that gate opens.
What sort of age are the neighbours next door?
I would say like 60, 50s, 60s.
Because at the old
do that
time
get
in
up?
bungalows.
I'm just wondering what the age next door.
I hear about 65, I think.
When you're playing your music, is it overly loud or anything?
No, I was a one-off that day.
I can't be like music, so I thought, you didn't play music?
No.
I'm just trying to think of anything that could have possibly started this off, if they're making the allegations.
Well, the allegations started about a year and a half ago, eh? So I'm putting 2 and 2 together. It was them next door, because I came in about 2 months after they moved in, and I never even knew that anyone moved in next door, because that house was empty for about a good year. And I came in the back, and the 2 of them were leaning on the banister thing like that, pure staring at me when I was coming in, smirking at me. I was like, who are these people? Because I didn't know at the time that they moved in. I never seen anyone come in or go out. And it wasn't long after that until they started targeting me. I have no idea why. But these are all false allegations. I have no idea about them. They got the window, I have no idea about that. They probably done it themselves just to have a go at me. I wouldn't even surprise me if they did.
Yeah, but you understand it's my job.
I understand that, Pauline.
These things, eh?
Understand,
just
Pauline.
leave them, eh?
Understand.
But we'll leave that at the moment.
Yep. And obviously, if you have any issues, you can contact ourselves, or you can contact Pauline as well. And if it is an issue with our neighbour, I've no doubt Pauline will have a look at it from your side and your point of view with other neighbours if there is any issues as well.
Right.
That's what a health officer's here for, and that's what we're here for as well.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
No problem.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for that.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
very much for your time.
Did your clays pole get moved?
I did bully, but once I get no being done, it mind that safety barrier I was asking.
Another thing, officer, right, is... Right, I'll show you. I got me here.
About the back on the other side, Arthur. Aye.
You see the sandbags?
I think at the moment they're struggling for materials for stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff because of the COVID, they're still struggling to get materials. But I
Taking
will,
that long with this COVID.
but I will, eh?
Is it taking that long with this COVID?
Aye, because a lot of the suppliers, they're struggling to get all the supplies. However, I'll get that one chased on for you.
See, my head is
running about with a knife and smashing the bags on my dad. So
Get a cup of tea and sit down.
I have no idea why.
button like that.
And I feel sorry for my dad since that happened.
Aye.
If you go out, you can have it. Actually,
I can see it from here.
Aye, it's the top one and the middle one. I'm telling them about the slash sandbags.
Oh,
So
yeah.
somebody's running about with a knife in the street.
I think it's a case of, as my colleague just said, if you're experiencing issues like that, you just need to make sure they're reported as well. Because as it stands now, and I've never heard about this until we've come in, but it just seems like if it's the case that they've just decided they don't like you for whatever reason,
I don't know why.
they're going to report anything and everything, whether it's true or not. Right? And we don't know whether it's true because we're never here. But like I say, as long as you guys are keeping yourselves right, and if there is stuff happening to you, you just need to report it as well, so it's showing the bigger picture. Because the only reason that you can guarantee that nobody will do anything is if you don't tell us.
That's true. So how is it reported? Dial 101 or 999?
Well, if you were to wake up one morning and you see it like that, and there's nobody here, there and now, then you can report it 101, you can report it online, and like say, contact Pauline as well and say this is obviously happening, somebody's obviously doing that, because that doesn't just happen by itself.
No.
It's the whole way to the length of the bag, eh?
It's two of them that's been done, eh?
So it could well be a case of somebody's trying to get into your head for something. It's just that we need to know, everybody needs to know so that we can build that picture.
And obviously with Cammy saying that building the picture, obviously a lot of these things that Pauline's talking about regarding eggs and that, we've not heard any of this. Nobody's reported this to us, but because we work so closely with housing, we talk to each other, and if there's issues in the community. So none of these issues that's been discussed today has been reported to us, but obviously from a community point of view, we need to know what's happening in our community as well.
If you see someone running about with a knife, 999.
No, obviously. But it just proves that there is somebody going about with a knife, and that happened through the night.
So they told yourself that it was Stuart that had done that? Someone told you?
Sandbags.
Say that again? Sorry?
So did somebody tell you that Stuart...
No, I noticed that in the morning when I got up.
And he blamed
Had I
me.
been
just
smart, like, you know.
Mind you, blame me and kick me out of the house that day for that. He actually blamed me. You can believe that, Dad.
After all that happened about 2 months ago,
Aye, Dad.
I said, Stuart, you better stop coming to the house for a while.
Right.
And the next morning, we were flashed.
And he thought it was me.
Right, okay.
And I told him that I wouldn't do something like that to you. Because I love him, and I wouldn't do something like that to him.
But that's just a speak of his thing. No worry about that.
No, it's just because I'm just interested.
Yeah.
But no, just keep yourselves right.
That's what we do, that's what we've always done.
As long as they don't damage my flowers.
That's a nice garden you've got.
That's the only thing I've got in my life now, my garden.
Right. That's bra. It's really nice.
Your front garden's the same.
Yeah.
It's got a nice front garden as well.
Aye. I lost my wife 3 years ago there, and she was garden daft.
Was she?
So I says, well, I'm going to keep a nice garden for you like you can. So I put
nice.
the nail every day.
That's a nice garden.
But I get embarrassed with them, no talking, Ken.
Listen, I don't talk to one of my neighbours, so I know how you feel. It's awkward, isn't it?
You can't, it's not bad. But I've got to take all my stuff out of the buckets.
Aye.
When I see the car away,
Aye.
Just to avoid...
to avoid even
confrontation.
Every day I've got to look for this car and say, right, I'll tab that out, I'll water the garden and things like that.
You shouldn't need to live like that.
It's not even confrontation, it's just you're trying to avoid any awkwardness.
Yeah.
Because I get like that a wee bit as well. I like it when my neighbours are away. So.
Oh, aye, so do I.
But,
I love it. Right now.
But no. Well, fingers crossed that's the end of it. We'll see.
Yep. Should be it.
Apologies for the fact that...
Yeah.
Aye.
Well, honestly, when I cancelled it, Pauline says that I'm going to bring police up with me.
Hopefully you'll realise now it wasn't for anything untoward at all.
No.
It's just there's more and more partnership working between agencies that goes on more than ever, So that's all it was. But,
Okay then, thank you
appreciate
all.
your time.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Pauline.
See you later, Arthur.
Thank you.
You never get me if you need me. Got my number.
Cheerio.